Welcome to Flat Rock Beach. This is an amazing little spot. It's just a little bit south of Redonda Beach here in Southern California, and it's gorgeous. There's just this huge rock outcroppings that just kind of stick out into the Pacific Ocean. Got these gorgeous multicolored rocks strewn all about. Big waves crashing in over these rocks makes these really beautiful, dramatic scenes. And today, I'm doing things just a little differently than normal. Today, I'm shooting some time-lapse photography. I've got my time-lapse rig set up behind me, snapping away right now. Gonna take about an hour to shoot 45 seconds worth of video. But I came out here today to work on time-lapse photography because one, I love doing it. It's so much fun. It just scratches all of the itches for me. It is geeky with all of the gadgets and the technology, the sliders and the pan tilt heads and the programming, the motion, and it's, you know, photography, which I love. It's just stitching together a lot of photographs into a video, and I love video. I love doing video. I love making these videos. I love making those videos. It's just really fun and a great pastime for me, and so this is a great way to scratch that itch, all three of those itches, and get that going. The flip side to time-lapse photography is the patience. It is very particular, and you need to slow down and really think everything through to do it. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. I'm kind of trying to come out here and just think about time-lapse photography and just do that. So I hope you find this enjoyable. I hope it's fun for you, and I hope you stick around and watch the whole thing. But right now, got this one set up and running here behind me, and I'll tell you all about that. Okay friends, so I'll explain my little setup here. I'm shooting on a Black Forest Motion slider and pan tilt head. It's new to me. It's really fun, really great to use, easy to set up. So I'm enjoying that factor of it. But this shot is, I've got this great little kind of alcove with this rock in the center of it, and the waves are coming in and crashing and kind of coming up to the camera. So shooting 1.5 second exposure, ISO 250. With a 10 stop neutral density and an F11, I believe. That's just to kind of give me the F11, give me a little depth of field. That ISO 250 is to give me that 1.5 second exposure. I want to slow down these waves, but I don't want to mush them up completely. So that's what I'm doing as far as exposure goes. Now, the thing to think about with the time lapse, and this is the tricky bit, it's not just one single photo, obviously. This is going to end up being roughly 800 images to make about a 40-second video. And the sun moves, the waves move, the camera is moving, everything changes. So it's not, you have to kind of consider, where's my shadow going to fall? Is it going to move? Is it going to come into my frame? Is it starting off in my frame? And then you have to think about the wave action. Is the tide coming in? Is it going out? Because this is going to run for about an hour. And things are going to change, conditions are going to change, and that's the part that I'm trying to train myself to think about and be patient about and try to pre-plan so that these come out a little better in the end. So today is a practice of patience and waiting, because this is going to take an hour. I did bring another camera though, so I'll probably shoot 1 or 2 stills while I'm here. But what a fantastic way to spend your day, right? I'm an idiot. I am the biggest idiot ever. You know how I was just kind of rambling on about patience and taking your time and setting things up and thinking things through? I didn't. Well, I mean, I did, but I didn't take action. While I was contemplating my second setup, I turned my attention back to my original setup to go check on it, see how it was doing, and the power bank had gotten soaked. It is completely waterlogged. I'm pretty sure it's completely dead now, which means I have no power to run my slider, and I'm really disappointed in it. I was excited about this second setup, and I have only myself to blame. I brought bags today to put this in. I brought bags for that specific reason, and I didn't do it. I just got in a hurry, and I thought, I'm far enough back, it'll be fine. Wasn't fine, was not fine. This would have taken me literally 3 seconds to do, and I didn't do it. I would still be shooting. Lesson learned. Do all the things. I think that time lapse would have come out really well. I may have enough images to create something out of it, but that's the only one I'm going to get today. We're done, because without power, there's nothing I can do. And this is completely my fault. This is my own fault. So This is a moment where we just stop, we breathe, realize the mistakes we've made, learn from them, hopefully, and move on. But seeing as the time lapses are done, let's shoot some stills. I've still got some time, I've got the whole afternoon, and it is pretty here. So we're gonna switch gears here, take a few still images. So I'm gonna try to turn it around and make a little lemonade today. And I've got this beautiful scene in front of me. I've got this beautiful rust-colored pointy rock leaning up against this great round rock. So I've just got this juxtaposition of shape and color right there. And then I've got this beautiful tidal pool leading up into all of this stuff with all these great pebbles in there. There's different shapes and colors going on. So that's my shot. Kind of trying to figure out how to shoot this. It's a little bit tricky because I want to see these pebbles, but I also want the reflection of this rock in the pool. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm doing an exposure blend on this one. Putting my polarizer on there, polarizing the scene to take the glare off this water to see all these pebbles underneath it. And then I'm gonna kind of reduce that polarization a little bit to get some of this reflection of the stone in the water as well. I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a focus stack on this guy. I'm gonna shoot this at an ISO 100, f20, 1/10 of a second. Focusing near on these rocks so I get everything here in the tidal pools sharp. At f20, my background rock should be sharp, but I'm gonna focus on that and take that shot as well, just to be sure. So we've got those two shots. Now we're gonna change our polarization, get some of that reflection, take those two shots again. One focus on that background rock, one focus on this foreground rock. And that's the image. We'll blend those four images together and create something that I like. And I'll show you here what we're looking at and what I'm talking about. So you've got this great, I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see what I'm telling you. Ooh, almost put my hat in the water. Woo. You got this great, big, giant rock back here in the background. I'm not cutting the top of it off in the still frame, but the video frame crop is doing that, and I'm already at 15 millimeters, so I can't get this frame any wider. But I got the great pointy rock, all the rusty color, great round rock over here, beautiful little tidal pool leading in with all of these rocks in here. I'm gonna turn this polarizer here so you can see all of these rocks that are in here. And then I've got these great canyon walls in the background that just kind of lead down and bring your eye to the two main characters of this shot, these two rocks that are just kind of hanging out here on this stony beach. So this is a beautiful little shot and I love it. Great. Let's see if we can find one or two more while we're here. I think we can. The rocks here are gorgeous. And of course, I've got all the big crashing waves going on behind me. So even with all of my disasters, I have nothing to complain about today. What a beautiful. All right, friends. The struggle today is really very, very real for me. I don't know what's going on. I came out here with this very specific intent, and that fell apart, and I think that has just wrecked me mentally. I just can't get past anything. I was trying to set this shot up here, and for some reason I couldn't get below half a second on my camera, only to discover that for some reason it had gone to an electronic shutter, which, but I've overcome that obstacle, and now I've set up on my shot. So let me walk you through this one. I described this time-lapse shot I wanted to do earlier. Ooh, the waves are getting really good. But behind this rock, revealing all of these great waves and wave action and the rocks behind it. Well, the time lapse is out, but there's no reason I can't make a still of it. This rock is gorgeous. It's just got all these great patterns and striations through it. So that's my big foreground element. Setting up pretty close to this at 15 millimeters. Have a 10-stop neutral density on there to give me about, ooh, big wave. Giving me about a 10-second exposure, which is really just making these waves super cloudy behind it and making this rock stand out all that much more. So it's just kind of, the ocean kind of blends to the sky, and it's really kind of pretty and ethereal. I'm gonna try to slow that shutter speed down a little bit, maybe to 5 seconds, maybe even 1 or 2, just to see if I get a little texture in these waves. What that looks like, I think that would be really interesting. But I'm gonna show you what we're looking at here, what we've got going on. Here's my big, beautiful rock right here. gorgeous, and as you can see, we've just got the waves breaking behind it out here, and then this great dramatic kind of stormy sky going on. Cropping this to a 4x5, so I'm losing a little bit of that sky information, and I'm okay with that. There's not that much going on in the sky, but it's better than just plain blue sky today. So that's my shot. I'm gonna try slowing this down again to 5 to 2 seconds, get a little more texture in this water and see which one of the two images I like best. And once I've made that decision, here it is. All right, my friends, one more shot at redemption here. This shot, I think it's gonna be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We've got this lone rock, well, fairly lone rock, with this beautiful texture on it. It's just kind of mangled and wavy. It looks, I don't know, it looks almost like a sponge, but it's a big giant rock. It's gorgeous. But I'm shooting this one, actually waiting for the waves to go back out on this shot and getting some of that texture in those waves. Shooting at about 1 second to a half a second, ISO 160, f16, 6-stop neutral density. That's going to slow me down and give me that 1 second exposure. And like I said, waiting for these waves to go back out because I want this rock to be exposed. I want to see it. I want to see the rock and the texture and the pattern, but I want the swirling water around it. So if I wait for the waves to recede, that rock pokes back up out of the crashing wave, and then I get the cascading water all around it. And it's working out really nice. Show you here what we're looking at, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Gonna probably end up cropping this guy down to a 4x5 because I love that crop, but there's my big rock right there. The waves come crashing in, and as you can see, as those waves come in, completely obscure that rock, but as they go back out, it exposes that rock. I get some beautiful contrast between the white froth and the dark water as the waves recede. And that's that shot. Really simple, it's really pretty, I really like it. And I think that is a pretty good way to end this day. All right, my friends, I think I'm gonna call this a day. I would call it a successful day, but it wasn't. We messed up pretty good. By we, I mean me. I messed up pretty good. I came out here, started this video off touting about the values of slowing down and being particular and taking your time, and then I made the dumbest mistake that a person could have made in that situation. So really, I only have myself to blame. Can't be too upset about it. And I think I redeemed the day. I think we reclaimed it, as it were. Still a beautiful spot, still had a beautiful day, got some beautiful images, and spent the day on the beach, so you can't complain about that. I do want to thank you for coming along with me. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and tell your friends, because the more the merrier. And I would appreciate it if you head over to toddhphoto.com. Over there you can see some more of my work, some of the time lapses that have succeeded, and some of the images I've been taking over the years. And while you're visiting, I'd love it if you signed up for my mailing list. There I just send out an early access to my blog posts twice a month. Just a little story to go along with an image, and there you can download that image if you wish. And while you're visiting my site, if you would like to support me, you can head over to the shop section. There I've got a download section where you can download those images from my blog. Those cost $1. Or I have a fine art print section where I've got a small selection of some of my personal favorite images available as fine art prints. From Flat Rock Beach here in Southern California, I want to thank you for coming along with me. And we'll see you next time.